guys, welcome back this morning. I'm in the Santa Monica house right now doing some work. So now that the lattice is all done, now I have the walls I need to clean before I can plant the plants. So obviously these cinder block walls are going to be a little easier to clean than the walls I've been working on recently. You can see the vines that were growing on here has really messed up the wall, as well as this part of the house will also be a little bit easier as well. This wall right here is the one that's going to be the hardest, because as you can see it's not flat and it's really bumpy, like through the whole wall. Down here, now I'm going to be putting podocarpus about 10 to 12 feet up in front of these walls, so you're technically not going to see this wall, but I still obviously want to do a good job. You can see here I've already done this part and that part is not done yet. So what I used, now you can basically use a pressure washer, but a pressure washer is going to be very messy, and technically you're not going to be able to get all this stuff. You'll be able to get these pieces off, but the pieces that you're not going to be able to get off is the little brown pieces. I actually don't see it on this wall. That actually leaves behind, which is kind of like this one right here. Now a couple things you can use. I went to Home Depot and I got this. This brush works great, the little scraper on the end. I can get in there, kind of scrape it off like this and get all this. Technically I'm not really going to get every single piece because that's going to take a long time. The wire brush is great for getting inside the edges, so that really cleans that up nicely. And then I wire brush the top when I'm done scraping it, and that way I can tell which ones I've already done. That helps as well. Now another thing you can also do is you can use one of these torches. Now this is the blue can, which I've told, and I've been using this for a while. The blue ones are get the hottest. If you're ever going to use this, make sure you have a fire extinguisher or a hose nearby, and you can either use this or you can have, they also have a connection from your propane tank, which will last longer, and the connection from a propane tank turns into a torch, so you can also do it that way. So those are the two things you can use. Now I can show you real quick what it does. Turn this on. Okay. And it doesn't need to be very high, but we'll show you right here. And you pretty much heat this up like this, and then you can go just like that. See, you make it a little black, and then look how easy that comes off. Comes off, it kind of crumbles. So I kind of have the torch in between my legs right now, but you can kind of see, you just kind of make it black like that, and then scrape it off. It'll pretty much get all of it off. Now, depending on how much detail you want to do, because, you know, if this is going to end up being behind bushes, you technically don't need to make it so detailed. But if it's going to be in front of a main sitting area, or if the wall is completely flat, you're going to see all these details that you missed when you paint over it. So just wanted to show you this way, because it does help a lot when you torch it first. You can see how much of that is actually gone. So let me shut this off. Alright, so that works really well. You can see how much of that took off, compared to, you know, what's over here on this side. And then if you have screws like this, see this, you can see that screw. I'll take those screws out, and then I'll put caulking in there. I'll plug up the hole. So you always want to do that too. And then the final thing I'm going to use, which I have not used yet, this will be the first time using, is this Easy Wash spray. It says that it's no scrubbing, and what I liked about it was it had multiple different nozzles on the end of it. If you can see that, see the different nozzles, and you can see it gets really thin right here, which means it should have a lot of pressure coming out of it. So I'm going to do that as a final clean before I let it dry and then paint. So this stuff I also got at Home Depot. And since it's going to be almost 100 degrees, this has been great. It's only 9 o'clock and it feels like it's like 85 right now. But I got this at Target probably for like 30 bucks or something. But that definitely, if you're going to be doing this, you know, you want to make sure that you stay pretty much covered. I got glasses on, you got a hat, you know, because the sun is going to reflect off this wall, and man, is it going to be hot when you're standing in front of that sun, and you're really going to burn. So those are just a few tips I wanted to show you that's really going to help. So these 3 things right there on cleaning these walls. And let's see, this is about 6 feet. No, it's more like 10. I did about 10 feet in 1 hour. So that's how long it took me to do that. And this wall is about 6 feet high. You can see the difference between the two. So here you can see all the way through. And then right here underneath, it starts to change. See? So you can see the difference, how rough it is from this section here to that section there. So that's pretty much, this is about 22 feet that I've done. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, around 6 hours, 22 feet. And like I said, that's about 6 foot high. But that way, you're not gonna, when you start painting, you're not gonna, and it rains, and that's gonna start flaking off pieces of paint, and it's gonna start coming off right away. So it's always important to, you know, take off the old stuff before you start putting on new stuff. So this brush works great. Again, this part on the tip, on the, where is it? That part on the edge right there is, obviously you can see bent because I was pushing pretty hard on it. But again, this is a very uneven surface, so it makes it hard to use this. So the best one right here is this one. So this is a wire brush practically that goes on the end of a drill. This Milwaukee drill is great. I have 3 batteries, so I'm always having one charged, and they do charge very fast. But I would recommend, if you have uneven surface like this wall, this is probably going to be the best one. I'm going to get another one tomorrow and show you. It also is a little bit bigger, so that might help too. But what I'm doing is I'm just trying to clean up any of the flakes. If I keep rubbing in one spot, it will completely get all the paint off. But it's not necessary. I don't need to get all the paint off, because it seems like, or it looks like there is primer behind it. So I'm just gonna get the flakes off. Like I said, I'm putting some big bushes behind this, or in front of this, so you're not gonna see any of this. Pretty much just go back and forth. Definitely wear glasses when you're using this, because there's stuff flying all over the place. But this will make it much easier than to use a brush. I've been using that brush for the last couple hours, and then I found this inside of my bag with all my tools, so I wish I would have used this sooner. you go. So now you can see the difference between the two. Yeah, this side over here is all finished. And then it goes to this side. Huge difference.